Got it. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Chastity Marie, and I'm about to celebrate 8 years of thriving with you guys, and I love it. You don't see me a lot on these morning Zooms because I like to sleep a little bit. I'm a night owl, so I do a lot of things late at night, and I enjoy my morning sleep time. But I usually kick off. I have a morning routine every morning. Um, I have someone that comes in, helps me throughout the week. And morning, Katie Sue. It's a routine for me, but my morning starts at a different time. And so, but I will say this, that I do sign up. At least a couple of times a month to host the Zoom because I want to be present. I feel so strongly about this morning Zoom. I love, good morning, Denise. I love that, we have this to start our day, because the way that we start our day is so important, friends. We start with gratitude. We start, that's something that when we open our eyes, we are grateful. We are able to take that time and really just be grateful for all the things that we have, all the things that we've been able to accomplish. And I was watching something over the holiday over the past week, and I don't know if a lot of you remember the Elizabeth Smart story. And she's gone back in. I don't remember if it was Prime or Netflix, but she's gone back in, and she wants to tell her story in her version. I think they've had several different documentaries, but she yesterday, or when I was watching that, she was talking about how, what she went through. And I always think of, like my childhood was traumatic. I think of the things that I went through and experienced, but what she went through, I can't even begin to fathom or imagine. And she was saying that in certain moments, even in the trauma, even in times where she thought she was facing, death, like it was crazy. She said, I always tried to really focus on gratitude. And I thought, golly, girlfriend, like that is crazy. Like I've always heard the power of gratitude. I've always heard how important it is to be grateful. And I've gone through some crazy things. I've gone through some, hard life, but listening to her really being in the middle of devastation and the brink of so many different things. And she's like, I kept practicing gratitude. I kept practicing gratitude for all the things that I've had. And it blew my mind, but it reiterated why I am so passionate about gratitude and why that is something that we have to practice. So if that's something that you're brand new to, I've said you can use a sticky note, you can use a 5-minute gratitude journal, there's even a 2-minute gratitude journal. You can use anything to take the time to write that down. Now it's just a habit for me. It's a practice in my morning to start my day. When I open my eyes, I don't have to have a journal. I don't have to have, notepad. However, when I get in that rut and I get in, complaining, or I get in hard seasons, it is a very good thing to go, you know what, I'm going to pull back out that notebook and write those things down. And the other reason it's so good to write it down is because maybe you are going through a season, maybe you're going through hard things. I just sharing with you guys, being very transparent. I didn't get to see my grandkids. I didn't get to see one of my children for Thanksgiving, but I had to really focus on what I did have. I had to focus on the kids that I did get to see, the kids that I did get to love on, bonus grandkids that I got to love on. And so, when you're in the moment of hard things, it is a good time to go back and go, okay, this time last year, I was grateful for this. Maybe I did get to see my kids or grandkids last year. So whatever it is, gratitude will shift the environment. It'll shift your atmosphere. And, we go through, whether you work outside of the home or you work in the home. I mean, being an entrepreneur is a challenge in itself. So when you are a business owner, you're going to get things that are going to come throughout the day. So I don't want to miss, drop in the comments if you can, if you're not driving or working or whatever, let me know something you're grateful for. And I know we started this out grateful for the holidays and all that, but let us kind of get the the chat going, but you're going to your day. If you start your day here, and I say this all the time, so if you've been with me a minute, you're like, oh, here we go, Chas, same things. It's okay, because repetitiveness and consistency is perseverance is what's going to lead you to that success. So starting your day here. And that means, you're here with your gratitude. You're here. How many of you have already taken your capsules? How many of you have already had your lifestyle mix? You started your day here, taking care of you. And throughout the day, inevitably, friends, things are going to happen. Maybe it's the kids, they've been out for a week and they forget their lunch today, and you got to get out. Some of you may have to get out in the snow, or somebody did the buy one, get one free, or whatever. They did your promo and they didn't put a promo code, or they didn't apply credits. Your day is going to gradually just kind of tick away. And it's not necessarily all bad things. It's not all, sometimes you'll have your day starts here and it goes there in a minute, or, it just kind of goes down. Maybe, you get stuck in traffic. Maybe there's an accident on the highway there. Something is going to organically just kind of tick away at your vibe, at where you are in your day. And so I really want to encourage you as you're getting ready to go into a new year. Oh my gosh, how many of you are ready for a new year? Now, we don't need a new year to make a new change. Today's Monday. It's I always say this is my second day of the week, because Sundays are my first day of the week. They are my days that I rest, renew, practice Sabbath if you want. I was slinging Christmas totes yesterday, and Pat was like, I thought this was rest day. And I'm like, no. So, I love Sundays because that's my day to prep for my week, and I get my planner out, I start preparing, and, I look at what is going to be my routine. I've shared with you guys that for years, I was actually looking at when I did my first turkey trot, and I think it was 8 or 9 years ago. And the turkey trot was actually when I very first started doing the prep for my seasons. And that being that, there's a really real thing, and it's called SAD, it's seasonal association disorder. And I struggled with that for years. And so I started being proactive in that season. I recognized that during the cold winter months, that was a time that I would typically kind of just fall back. I don't like the rain and the cold, and I had to start getting in the mindset of I'm going to prepare for that season instead of going down in that time. So, working out your morning movement, that is something that, whatever that looks like to you, maybe that's stretching, maybe that is a little YouTube video on yoga, or maybe you want to go get in a run, or maybe you want to sling around some heavy weights, whatever it is. You may be saying, Chas, I have littles and you don't understand. Getting a workout is hard. I get it. Again, just being full transparency, some of you may know that I've had a newborn for a little bit, and life has been crazy, and trying to cook Thanksgiving Thanksgiving this time, it was like, we were playing the throw stuff in the floor game, and I was throwing dressing in the floor. I mean, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for our mamas that have littles and try to do life. He's just my nephew, but every time that, it is just something that I think of you guys, and I think you guys are trying to build a business, you're trying to do life, you're trying to do your morning routine. But I was there with him, and I'm thinking I had him on my hip, just stair stepping on a couple of steps just to get my elevated heart rate. There's always going to be an opportunity for us to have a reason to not do. And we've just got to get creative and think outside of the box. So how many of you have already got your 2022 planners? If you want to drop in the comments below what planner you're using. I know a lot of people use the, they're digital, and they love using their digital calendars and their planners. I do too. I use that as well. For me, it's just I've been using Commit 30 for, gosh, probably 6-7 years. I don't know how long, but And it's small enough where it can go in my purse. And I love to check things off, highlight them. One of the things that even my kids know, even to this day, if they need me, to babysit my grandpups, or they need me to take them to the airport, or they need something from me, if they need, several of my kids are in investment properties, and they need something repaired, they know, write it in my planner, write it in a different color than everything else, because that just shows that I need to do something for someone else. So I love having that. I love that, Pat can look at that and go, hey, what do we have going on this week? Or what do we have going on 3 weeks from now? So it's something that it's just a habit that I put in place for my family to, if they say, you didn't do this for me, or hey, was it in my planner? This is a conversation that we've had years ago. Take it, look at it, and let me know, because like with my nieces, if they have something, tonight, Amber messaged me. I know Amber's our leader, and she messaged me and asked me if I could host a VIP tonight. I didn't reply for a minute. She's like, just let me know. And I was like, hey, sorry, I had to get in front of my planner. I don't commit unless I look at my planner. I don't want to overcommit. I don't want to say yes and be stressed out about it. I don't want to say no when I can say yes. So I just want to encourage you, get your planners, get those in your life, get that practice in your life, because it shifts everything. So, and there's probably some Cyber Monday deals if you haven't done that. Guys, today is Cyber Monday. It's so crazy. It's like every day is a sale day. It was like Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. Today, have fun with it. As you're preparing for your sales, I really have to brag on you guys, because as I've seen, which I don't know, Facebook algorithms they are horrible. But I have to go look at certain people's, and I have to kind of dig through, which I don't like that. Is the 30% off on the order? Is that something Bell did? I haven't checked email this morning. That's also another thing that I am very protective of. And I know that's, y'all know it. Yes, Cyber Monday. Okay, cool. That is, see, y'all are in the know before me, but that's because I don't check my text messages or my Facebook messages or my email before I finish that morning routine. So maybe that gratitude or that movement, because what happens is I snowball. Now you may be totally organized and you could do that, and props to you. I'm still learning it, but there could be, something from my kids, there can be something, a bill, whatever it is. And I haven't put myself in this space. So I start here instead of here. So I want to start there. So here y'all already know about the cyber sale from LaBelle. And here's the thing, if you can offer something else, if you can add something additional, Katie's like, I've been up since 5. So if you can add something additional to your promo, to your sale, I laughed so much because I love to look around. I have not been in a store. Like, I went to Target with my daughters. We went to a movie. I haven't been in a movie theater. Gosh, since the pandemic first started, however long that is, for sure. And I know it had been a minute before then. I haven't been in Target. Yes, I know if Tiffany's on, she's like, we haven't been in Target. It seems like years, but I know it's been a year and a half. Everything I do, if y'all know me, I do it on Prime. So I went into Target for the first time, and y'all, literally, I was overwhelmed. I stood in the corner and my girls were like, Mom, I bought 2 or 3 things, but I was so overwhelmed. And I'm like, I love Amazon. I love Amazon Prime. It was just like, and then people were crazy. People were rude. We went into Best Buy. I don't know why I went off this track, but we went into Best Buy. Oh, I know why I went. We went into Best Buy and we bought this little thing for one of my bonus giggles. And the guy brought us into the line. It was a thing, like electronic thing where you can't get it. So he has to walk you to the counter. So he walks us to the counter and he gives us to the checkout guy. And there's these people in line. And so then they're pissed that we got in front and they're just like, "Argh." And I'm like straight up about to go I think I said a bad word. And I was so mad. I'm like, this is why I don't want to come in public. Like, it was so stressing me out. I'm like, I actually want to, I don't know. It was crazy. But I did look around. I had a point in all this tangent. Can you all tell my capsules are kicking in? I did look around to see what kind of word, what kind of language, every store we went in, I wanted to see, what is their marketing strategy? What is it? What are they saying that gets my attention? What did you buy? What did you buy on, Black Friday? What did you buy? I've shared with you guys that I do watch other people that are in our industry, other influencers. I talk about a lot just because we have one in our area. We have an Herbalife little place here, and they're genius. They get their people to tag when they buy their drink in the morning, and they get 10% off or whatever. And that's a constant thing. That is every time they go, every time they shop, they get that 10% off. So, we have to look around. A lot of us just, I even, and this is another reason why my email can get me, sometimes you might think, well, why is your email going to get you in a spiral? Because of my mind, the way my mind thinks is all of the, Black Fridays, all of the small business, all of the Cyber Mondays, I sit there and I read those ads, not just to, get off of my routine or go squirrel. It is because I want to see what is it, and especially in just the memo or the subject line, what is it that gets my attention? My email is full of crap, honestly, of just those promos and those things. But which one of those made me stop? Which one of those got my attention? Was it free shipping? Was it, I have something for you, I have a deal for you? What was it that made me stop and got my attention? And so I use that also in my marketing strategy. And to go back to what I was saying, why I'm so proud of you guys, is that as I was seeing some of your promos and some of your, a lot of you didn't just put Labelle's, whatever their little graphic was. You took the time, you added your face, you put your name, you changed it up and said, hey, I want to offer, even though it's something that's coming from the company, you made it your own. So even though Facebook algorithms are crazy and stuff right now, you didn't just throw that out there. You were being creative. And I love that, because I will be honest, if I see an ad over and over and over, I'm like, oh my gosh, this Thriver is offering this. But if you're different and unique, the thing is, what makes people want to buy from you? What makes people want to shop with you? And this is that season that when we talk about that we have to be connected to people other than Thrivers, this is that time that you don't want just the Thrivers to see your stuff, and if your algorithm isn't acting crazy, that's something to be grateful for. But this is just, again, one of those times to just really reiterate that, guys, people are not seeing your stuff. So you've got to be using your messenger. You've got to be using text messages. We talked about how, important that it is to the postables, things like that. And I know a lot of you do not feel, okay, here's the thing. I'm just going to say this. If you are 200K, you're killing it, you're where you want to be, and you've done all of that online and through social media, then keep doing you. But if you're saying, Chas, I'm stagnant, I'm not growing, I'm not seeing the new engagement, you're going to have to get outside of social media. Yes, I know TikTok is going to increase your reach. Yes, I know Instagram is going to increase your reach. But the thing is that is the cloud office, is your PPA, is your qualification, are those things growing? And so if the answer is yes, and you're where you want to be, then you need to be hosting a morning so you could tell us your tips. But if not, you've got to get outside of that box. One thing we're adding to I actually have this here. It's an action item for this week, is updating our, y'all know I'm in Jeep clubs everywhere. We have fun with this. We're actually going to add either a peppermint stick to our ducks. I've got several. If you get your auto ship packages and you have the little auto ship samples, you can attach that with a little note. Here's a spa day, spa something on me, or get rid of that. You can use your balance, whatever it is. Get creative with what you have. Maybe you don't have a whole lot. Maybe you don't have, maybe you can't offer free shipping to everyone. You can't add an additional free shipping. Maybe first order gets free shipping, and you can reimburse them for their shipping. Maybe you can offer them, what products do you have sitting on your shelf that you need to move? I always say, it's no secret that Lavelle probably runs these promos and these sales just like every other retailer to get things off their shelf. They don't want products sitting on their shelf and, oh, well, that must mean product isn't moving. It's just like anything else. And right now is the best time to buy Thanksgiving stuff, because it's stuff that didn't sell. They don't want to keep it. They don't want to store it. So they're going to clearance it. They're going to get rid of it. That's the retail industry. So move things off your shelf, break things up. Maybe you have a skincare set. I mean, this is a great time to be marketing our hand cream. My gosh, that stuff is like miracle. I mean, if it can work on these sandpaper feet, it can work on anything. And I love marketing that, especially to a lot of my nurses, first responders, really anybody, even in the grocery industry, that are still gloving and ungloving a lot. They love it because it's just so amazing on their hands. So, maybe that's something that you could buy a couple extra. If you've got some credits, buy some hand creams. And, everyone that does a starter pack, does their 8-week experience, you're going to throw in a hand cream. I don't know what you can do, but do what you can with what you have. Sweeten the deal, add something to it. Just be prepared to get people started during this season. You may get to a point where, and I hope this for you, that you have so many people that you don't know what to do. We've got so many new onboarding things, bringing them in to this business during this time. They deserve from you the same attention that you wanted, that you got when you came in. And, that is, and if it's, hey, I didn't get that, I missed out on that, you've learned. And so you can give them what you wanted, or you should have been given in the beginning. So this is going to be a time where people are going to get started in their business. I will tell you again, I've said this, that, we usually battle this time of year, the shiny object syndrome, where there's a lot of new things coming out and people are trying new things. I will be honest, some of the things that people have sent me, like if someone's decided they want to go a different direction, we wish them well, but it hasn't been new things. It's been things that have been around for 3 years or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, I hope they thought that through, because there is so many that have already come back. We have people, literally, I don't want to say every day, but every week coming back because they miss the product. And if you did the detox, you know what it's like to be without your Thrive. So anyway, this is a great time getting prepared for, how many of you guys are doing 12 favorite things? I am trying to get that together, can't get my crap together, but that's something that I did for the last, I don't know how many years, and it has been a huge success because I get so many new people now. If you're like, Chas, I can't give away all those things like you do, give away your 12 favorite tips. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you've been married for a long time, and whatever it is that you're really good at, maybe you're really good at organizing, plan that you're going to give away your 12 favorite tips on organization. You cannot think that because you can't do, guys, comparison, not only is it the thief of joy. It is the thief of everything. Do not look around and go, what is so-and-so doing? You can look at it for, that opportunity to brainstorm and think through things, but don't look at it to compare and go, well, I'm not as valuable because I can't offer that. You do what you can with what you have, but don't miss the opportunity, because what it is it's a great way to pull new people in, whether you do a private group. I know Natasha's doing this with her team, and they literally started a new group, and they're doing stories every single day, and then they're doing a giveaway. And so, get creative with that. We've got our lifestyle challenge group. We're going to be doing first of the year 5K. There's so many things that people can take advantage of and be a part of that we're not using, that we're not utilizing in our team. So maybe you want to partner up. This is something that leaders did, for several years, is we did the 12 days and everybody took one day. So just get creative. And again, going live is going to be the best tool. It's going to be the best way to get out there and get in front of new people. I can't say it enough. Make sure that you're going back and doing that audit on your social media. Guys, we just had Thanksgiving. People posted about Thanksgiving. People commented, liked your photos, engaged with you. Go back. And here's the thing. If your 99% is all thrivers and all people connected to you, whatever it is, that's your opportunity to say, I got to turn this thing upside down. I've got to go in there and I've got to clean it up. Again, this is a great time to do that cleanup on your friends list. There's a lot of people. A lot of people leaving social media. If y'all didn't see, like Lush, they're leaving social media platforms. They're like, we're losing millions, billions of dollars for getting off of social media. So just know that there's going to be accounts taking up space in your social platforms that maybe need to be cleaned up. So go through and take the time, clean those things out so that you can help work with your algorithm. Again, talking about reels, I'll be honest, there's a lot of things, guys, that I get exhausted with. And there's times where it's about consistency, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am super consistent with my reels and all that. Guys, there's times where I'm just like, I'm exhausted. There's every day is a new day with a new song, a new trend, a new this. And I'm like, I can't. So I just show up. I'll do a song, I don't dance, but I'll use a popular song that may be a popular song from last week, but it's just about me showing up. I don't try to overthink it. I don't try to, it's not perfect. I just do it. So everything that we've got going into closing out this today, I challenge you, get in your cloud office. I've said this for forever, and it's because it's just something that is super effective and super powerful. Get in that cloud office. We assume that everybody in our cloud office, all of our old promoters, people that have left, that they are seeing the emails, getting the text messages. They could have opted out. They could have opted out of email. They could have opted out of text messages. Let them know what promos you have going. Send them a message Cyber Monday. Again, they can hit stop. They can opt out of things, but make sure that you're being that point of connection. Maybe somebody is wanting to restart their Thrive experience. Maybe they're wanting to get back on their journey, and you reaching out to them could be what seals the deal. Another thing that I think is really, really good, and every single one of you are already qualified, is going into the first of the year, hosting virtual dream board, virtual vision boards. You can host those little classes, how to set goals, how to, people set all these New Year's resolutions and they don't know how to achieve them. How do I do daily steps? How do I implement daily processes? How do I even create a dream board? How do I even begin to dream. How these are things that you guys have had us, if you would, masterminding or training, whatever you want to call it. You've had that with us year after year if you've been with us, to show you. And you don't have to be perfect at it to host that, to create an incubate. I call it an incubator group where, you pull new people. Hey guys, I'm hosting a vision board Saturday, or whatever it is you're doing, and pull new people. You'll have thrivers, you'll have, legacy people, but how do I pull new people in and bring them captive? You're going to have to do something outside of just letting Facebook do the work for you. It doesn't work like it did in the beginning. When we started 8 years ago, we could say, oh my gosh, look at this thing. And literally people would be like, what is that on your arm? Now it's probably eye roll, or, people aren't thinking about it like they did. They've seen it, they've heard it. And if they're not ready to make a change, if they're not ready to make a shift in their life, then they're probably not going to hit that message. They're not going to send you that text. They're not going to let you know that they've been watching and they're ready. So just remember that this is a time that it's going to require work. It's going to require you to do things outside of the box. We have so many of you. I saw many people that did this weekend, have booths, had things going on at turkey trots. I had to guys, just being very honest and transparent, I had to regroup my mind. This is a season where I am usually running by now. And I looked around and I saw so many of my friends doing 5Ks, turkey trots. And I kind of got in my feels. I had to go. I was like, wow, what a loser. I am doing no running. And I had to remember that life happens. And so as I looked at my friends doing the turkey trots and doing the things that I love and enjoy doing, I had to think of, okay, why am I not doing it? Kind of had a health setback. And today is a new day. I'm feeling great. I can get up. I can walk. I can get on the treadmill. I can start my day. So every day is a new day to start, whether that is in your business, whether that is in a relationship, whether that is in a healing, whether that is in eating clean, whatever it is, you've got to say, I'm ready to start again. And so that's what we see is we see a lot of people that, maybe their business was at 12K and people decided, hey, I've gotten everything that I want. I'm going a different direction, or I'm giving up on my goals, or I hit that $400 cash and I'm done. Then we just kind of stagnant. We get stagnant instead of going, okay, today's a new day. I'm going to start talking to new people. I'm going to put my product in new people's hands. I'm going to put my Thrive experience in front of new people's faces. I'm going to share, guys, you've got to be playing that match game. A lot of people will say, Chas, I don't see you post a whole lot about Thrive, but you don't know what's going on in the messenger. Anybody that I see that is a teacher is stories on the fan page. Those things are going in messenger. Those things are it's like, I love playing the match game, matching a story that comes out. My first priority is to use a story that is from our team, because if someone says to me, and this is a true story, and this is just something, a goal that you can set to get to. If someone comes to me and says, Chas, you shared Angela's story with me, and I really was able to resonate. I was really able to, and some of you may be on here that have had this happen from me, but I really connected with her. If they say that, and it's somebody that is in my organization, in my team, I'm going, hey, I'm going to put Angela in a message, and I want you to get connected with her. And I'm going to let Angela, now, if you're brand new and you're just starting out, don't do this. Set this as a goal. I'm going to say, you know what? I want you to connect with her. I want you to sign up with her, because there's nothing like being able to connect and associate. Now, that is why I personally love using stories from our team, because it's in our organization. It benefits me. So that is my favorite. And we have so many stories. That I could play match all day long. But there are times where I see that story from the fan page and it's like, oh my gosh, this is one I have to share with so-and-so. And so those things, making that mini experience or that Thrive experience, what we're trying to do by our sales, our BOGOs, our I'm going to throw in shipping, or a lot of people say, well, we feel like we're begging. People should want our product. Here's the thing, they don't know what they don't have until they experience it. So basically what you're doing is you're getting that trust. And sometimes you have to do it, you have to take that extra step. Sometimes I wouldn't go typically into a store, but they're offering a certain, my grandkids used to, I just thinking about Lush. Well, we need to go into Lush because they're giving away, whatever bath bomb or whatever with the purchase. And they got me in the store with a little incentive. So, and then I get in there and I'm like, oh, this smells good, or whatever it is. So, or, maybe something, a restaurant you wouldn't typically go to, but Friday night they're doing free appetizers and you're like, hey, free appetizers, yes. So just know that those promos and those things that you're offering, it is an investment. It is an opportunity to get your foot in the door. And sometimes we have to stretch. Sometimes we have to look like, okay, what can I do to get a little bit uncomfortable? Maybe that is saying I have to Thrive for free this month so that I can be able to offer, a little extra incentive. I can use my, things that I get extra with my credits so that I can help other people experience the product. And when you make a story that, someone else's story, like I say, my story is great, my story is evolving, my story is changing, it's amazing, but I'm not a boy mom. I don't have littles. I'm an empty nester. So my story is not right now in this season going to be, identifiable with everyone. So that's why I use y'all's stories. That's why I think it's so important that we update our Thrive experience, and don't just post your Thrive experience on your social media feed. Make sure you're getting that to the fan page so that you can be placed and you can be marketed in front of everybody. So those are things that you've heard me talk about it, but it's those things we do over and over. Make sure you're sharing. Yesterday, I can't tell you how many people sent me these fun messages I posted, how many of y'all are eating leftovers? Well, then people started sending me recipe ideas for what I could do with my leftovers. You can take your ham and make pot of beans with your ham and make cornbread. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yay. That's another day. Pat asked me, he's like, babe, did you cook? I'm like, I cooked for Thanksgiving. I'll cook again at Christmas. But he's like, hey, we need to, we had a lot of ham left over. Let's make some beans. I'm like, I already thought of that. So it's a way to remember that you have to have things on your social media outside of just Thrive, and calls to action. If you need ideas on that, guys, you can go to Google and look at what are the calls to action. What are the best Cyber Monday deals? I shared this on Megan's call or Saturday. And if you're not on the Saturday call with Megan, I know a couple of us are going to host it this next week. She had something else come up. That's just a great way to get some great tips. And again, tips that we're sharing, you got to put them in. You can't just get on a Zoom and not apply. These are things that we're giving to you guys. And I don't remember, I think it was Maria or somebody, they started showing, and a lot of you guys have already done it, and I know Star is so good with, finding out the cool new things, but it took me a little minute before I started using like Canva or Pixar or any of those apps to take out the background. And so, on any of my specials, any of my promos, any flyers that I'm sending to people in private message saying, hey, I know you're always looking for a good deal to start your Thrive experience. I've got this going on. And, I do that a lot because there are so many thrivers on my newsfeed. I don't want someone to ever think, well, Chas can offer this, or I don't want you comparing that. Even if it is all you can extend is what Lavelle gives them. Maybe it's, hey, I'm going to extend what Lavelle gives them. And then your first 5 days, you're going to get a personal call from me to check on you for accountability. Guys, you can do that. That is you, your time, your talent, your resources. You can offer that, and it costs you nothing but some attention and time. And so, you've got to get outside of the here's my box, and you've got to think outside of that. If what you're doing, like I said, is working, you're growing, you're killing it, then you're signing up for all of our Zooms to give us your tips. But if not, then you got to look around and go, what is it that needs to change? I know for me, for this next year, what needs to change is gathering people back in. That was something that I was killing it, doing it on Saturdays. One thing I'm going to launch is Hey Sis Saturdays, and it's going to be social influence Saturday, where I'm going to be, maybe one day we're just learning about how to use Reels. Guys, I am not an expert at Reels, but I guarantee you somebody that knows zero about Reels is going to think I'm an expert. I can post beginner, how to market your business, using Instagram Reels. And I will get people that are real estate agents. I'll get people that have nonprofits, whatever it is. They'll think I'm the expert, even though I'm not the expert. But I can teach them the basics. I can teach them 101. I can teach them that foundation. And I can get them captive of, who am I? They see me on social media. They see me in my highlight reel, but they don't get to know me in the background. They don't get to know that I'm fun loving. I love to get in your bubble and hug. I love to hang out and have snacks. I love to just be hands-on helping other people, whether they benefit me or not. And I was sharing with someone who reached out to me, and maybe they sent something, and a friend of mine was like, well, actually a girl that helps me during the week. She said, Tasha, like, she's sweet. Where, how do you know her? Is she a thriver? And I'm like, she's not a thriver. This particular girl is a very high profile real estate agent in our community and in our surrounding areas. And just a little story, I started doing these social Saturdays, women in business. We've changed them. We've given them different ideas, different made of different names. I like to use Meetup. I don't know if you've ever heard of that app, but Meetup is I pay for mine, but it's a free service. You could go in there and look and see what's happening in your area. I've gotten connected to many mom groups, many local groups through Meetup through this season, because they might be doing an ornament exchange. Maybe they're doing something and it's local in my community. Okay. So I was doing these events. And if you remember, it's probably been 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing these things on Saturday where we were just teaching social media tips, different things like that. Well, this group of women, there was like 3 or 4 women, and they thought, there's no way that she's doing this for free. Like it was like a mean girl club. Like it was just not good. And 3 of the women came because they're like, there has to be a strategy. There has to be a catch. So that was 3 years ago. This girl and I have formed a relationship, very business relationship, but always encouraging, cheering each other on, because she attended one of my Saturdays just to kind of scope it out. And she told me, she said, Chas, I thought that there was no way that you could be offering these classes or these get-togethers. I'm like, I have my loft already. I love to gather. I love to get together. Someone said, where did you host them? At your home? Yes. And here's the thing. I know that you guys are at Chas, you have your loft. I do have the loft, but if you've been on here a minute, I put them in my living room. I have literally, one time we moved my couch out the back door, put it on my patio, and we had it in my living room before there was a loft. So, whatever it is, maybe and I saw it was Katrina, Katrina, you are the queen at events. Maybe you show, new entrepreneurs how to set up booths, how to market your business in your community, and you do, a booth party, whatever it is, show people your talent, show people what a lot of times you're like, oh my gosh, Chas is doing this training, Chas is doing this, or, Lisa or Natasha, whatever, and I want to be a part of it. Guys, don't undervalue you. Maybe you can host. Maybe you're, I saw Katie Sue on here, and she's, she does her workout. Maybe you're somebody that can offer, January 1, I'm offering, once a week workout or once a week accountability, something like that. Whatever it is that you're super good at, don't underestimate, don't undervalue who you are, what you have to offer. You don't need Chas to lead it. You don't need Chas to lead the vision board class. You don't need Chas to lead your goal setting class. You can do that. You should be doing that. You are qualified. Maybe it's now for December, every Monday, you're hosting a live on how to set up your planner, how to set your goals going into the first of the year. New Year's resolutions, go look at the statistics. Look at the statistics on how many New Year's resolutions fail by February, by the end of January. Maybe you give people tips and tricks on how to create daily routines that help them get to where they want to be successfully. Whether that's, accountability. Maybe they didn't know they had apps for drinking water. Maybe they didn't know how they had apps for steps. Maybe I was very hesitant about having a smartwatch because I was like, I don't want my messages. I don't want my Facebook notifications. I don't want all of that on my wrist. If I am working out or I am whatever, I don't want that. And so for the longest time, I had just a plain Jane, just a tracker, because I didn't want all that. And my kids are like, Mom, you can turn all those features off. I'm like, what? So I was missing out on functions because my mind was closed-minded to other things. So there may be things that people don't realize that they have at their fingertips already, and you expose them to that. And guess what that builds? That builds trust. And when they trust you in something else, maybe they've trusted you because you're teaching them social media tips, or you're teaching them budgeting, or you're teaching them organization skills, then they're going to come to you for other things. Remember that know, like, and trust. How do you get there? How do they get to know you? They get to know you by you reaching out to them, you finding them on the social platforms, you getting outside your box, meeting them, reaching them. Pat came in yesterday or Saturday, one day this week, and he's like, I need 2 cards. And I'm like, what kind of, I thought he meant like credit cards. I'm like, why? Of course, I went crazy. I was like, why do you need 2 credit cards? He's like, your business cards. Anyway, we had a couple of officers in the area, and they just go through during the holidays a lot more than they typically do. And they stopped, and they're like, what the heck do y'all do? Like, what, they didn't say we're drug dealers, but we're nutraceutical dealers. They're like, what do y'all do? And Pat's like, you know what? Let me go get you a card. He didn't sit there and try to explain it. He didn't sit there and try to, this is my DFT. He just said, let me get you a couple of cards. And he said, hey, shoot her a text message, and I bet she'd give you some samples. So, you always have to take that opportunity to meet new people, grow your reach, expand your reach, and that has to happen not just on social media. So, all right, Shannon, are we still doing our devotion at the end of the thing, or we
are, but
okay.
If nobody's ever won in the mornings, I need them to drop me in the comments, and then after the reading you can pick a winner. But I do want to say real quick, this Wednesday, Tiffany, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Tiffany June Advocate and I are going to be continuing our series that we've been doing every other Wednesday on ingredients. And this week it's going to be on our nighttime stuff like rest, recharge, balance, biotic, and restore. So I hope y'all tune in Wednesday.
Sweet. Awesome. And hey, I want to say to you guys, as we go into our, whoever's reading our thing, just know that it's super important. Find something, you may, if our devotion, if our reading is not your jam, find something, whatever it is that you love. I know a lot of people say, well, I have to hop off at this time. Find something, whether that is a morning motivation, morning podcast, something that is your jam. So, whether you're, believe in universe, whether you believe in God, whatever it is, find something that you can place your faith, your trust. If we believe that we are our only power, oh Lord, that's scary. We're going to screw it up. I've screwed it up. I've screwed life up. So make sure you're finding something that you can find your hope and your belief. And then the other thing is share that with others. So, all right, I'm going to pass it to whoever is reading.
Good morning. Okay, day 47. Look up and move on. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ God forgave you. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 through 32. The world holds few, if any, rewards for those who remain angrily focused upon the past. Still, the act of forgiveness is difficult for all, but most saintly men and women. Are you mirrored to the quicksand of bitterness or anger? If so, you are not only disobeying God's words, you are also wasting your time. Being frail, fallible, imperfect human beings, most of us are quick to anger, quick to blame, slow to forgive, and even slower to forget. Yet, as Christians, we are commanded to forgive others, just as we too have been forgiven. If there exists even one person, alive or dead, against whom you hold bitter feelings, it's time to forgive. Or if you have embittered somebody, oh my goodness, or if you are embittered against yourself for some past mistake or shortcoming, it's finally time to forgive yourself and move on. Hatred, bitterness, and anger are not part of God's plan for your life, but forgiveness is. Our quotes for today: Bitterness is the trap that snares the hunter, by Max Lucado. Be so preoccupied with good that you haven't room for ill will. E. Stanley Jones. Acrid bitterness inevitably seeps into the lives of people who harbor grudges and suppress anger, and bitterness is always a poison. Lee Strobel. Anger breeds remorse in the heart, discord in the home, bitterness in the community, and confusion in the state. By Billy Graham. For further reflection, Psalm chapter 37, verse 8, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17, Matthew chapter 5, verses 22 through 24, Acts chapter 8, verse 13, and Corinthians 1, chapter 13, verses 1 through 7. Today's prayer. Heavenly Father, free me from your anger and bitterness. When I am angry, I cannot feel the peace that you intend for my life. When I am bitter, I cannot sense your presence. Keep me mindful that forgiveness is your commandment. Let me turn away from anger and bitterness, and instead claim the spiritual abundance that you offer through the gift of your Son. Amen.
Thank you.
So good. So good. Oh my gosh. What a great way to start our day and our week. And hey, I know so many times we can hold on to that, where they always say forgiveness is for you. It's not, forgiveness is not necessarily for that person, but it's for you to walk in freedom. And so maybe it's ourselves that we need to forgive. Maybe it's someone else that even this past weekend, maybe we got crazy with our family, whatever it is. Walk in that forgiveness. That doesn't mean you have to forget. That doesn't mean that you don't still set up boundaries, but it's just saying, you know what, I'm going to give myself permission to walk in freedom. So, all right, y'all have a great Monday. Happy Cyber Monday. I can't wait to watch all of y'all's deals. I might steal some of them if you have extra things going on. Y'all have a great Monday, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.
And Leanne, you are today's winner. Please message me in Messenger under Shannon Cochran, COCHRAN. Congratulations. And I'll see y'all on Wednesday.